talking about the end of the Mavs-Nuggets game on Sunday. Kyrie Irving hit an amazing 21-foot lefty hook shot. Amazing, right, Slick? In the closing seconds for the game winner, amazing shot.
So long,
Dallas is now in the 7th seed in the West, and they've got the attention of Magic Johnson, who posted, "I want to put the Western Conference on notice. The Dallas Mavericks, coached under Hall of Famer Jason Kidd, are a different team with the additions of Washington, Lively, and Gafford. Watch out for them in the playoffs. Watch out, Slick." We've got Fox NBA analyst Slick Rick Bucher.
Hey, I thought this was the big story. I'm back.
Man, Slick.
We're back.
Slick. Appreciate it.
Now, I warn the people, though. I warn the people, though, what you've been saying about that shot. So,
You gotta give it a buck.
If she asks you, be honest.
Well, I guess we should start there. It was an amazing shot.
It was, no. Look, he's right-handed.
Yes.
He shot, I guarantee you, he has not shot that shot in an NBA game before in his life. And to hit it as the game winner over Nikola Jokic's fingertips.
Who is how tall?
Who is, and wingspan,
Yeah.
but add a couple inches to that, right?
11 feet.
No, amazing. I mean, Luka's like, I can't believe that happened, right? And we know Luka can do some magic. So, for me, yes, amazing shot. But
Did it prove they have enough?
Don't do the butt, Slick.
I'll answer the
Did it prove
question.
they
No,
can
there's
have
a big
enough to compete for the
brother.
title.
There is a big but here,
Okay.
which is if you're telling me that Jamal Murray missing a wide open 14-footer, and then Kyrie Irving hitting a 18-foot
21.
offhand rolling hook over Jokić is the proof that the Dallas Mavericks are going to take down the Denver Nuggets and come out of the Western Conference. I would say those dots do not connect. So, look, I love the Dallas Mavericks and what they've been since the trade deadline. The Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving combination has been far more successful. And what I really appreciate, you're going to love this, my movie mogul over there, because you give me that dictator vibes, sort of, is...
It's like pastor.
Yeah.
You know?
He went to church.
You did go to church.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, there's some of that too. There's some of that too.
Amen.
No, I appreciate that we are getting to appreciate Kyrie Irving, the player. There have been no distractions. There's been nothing to take away. Yeah. And so now we can just sit back and look at him and say, that dude can ball. Yeah. Like, that guy can do some things that nobody else in the league can do. And that's what I'm appreciating.
I like the Mavs, Slick. I don't know.
Really?
Look, I know we all want to believe in someone other than the Nuggets, right? Because the Nuggets are like, okay, like
we get it.
We get it. So we want to believe in someone else.
Same old, same old.
And I've been same old. I don't know if they've gone that far, but they're just so dominant. They're so good that we want things to be interesting, and we hope that someone can make it interesting against them, because that's what the playoffs are all about, and that's what we're talking about here. Can they compete for a title this season? Nuggets have a lot, and I understand, even though they beat them, that's not necessarily how it's going to go in a 7-game series.
Hell of a formula.
But the last 6 games, the Mavs have been pretty interesting. They're excellent in the clutch. In fact, they have the best clutch record of any team this season. They're 19-8, which is a game that is within 5 points with 5 minutes left. So they're excellent when it gets down and it's tight, which is how a lot of those games in the postseason go.
True.
Last 6 games, they've been great. And I think that that's a trend that you want to have going into the postseason. So we know at the top level they have an incredible amount of talent. They have 2 of the best players on the planet. And if they can play at a high level, if they're healthy and they're continuing with this trend, I do think there's someone that could be interesting. I really hesitate to say that anybody has a chance against the Nuggets because they do look that dominant. But somebody's got to make it interesting, right? And I think that they have enough to make it interesting. But Shady, what do you think? They have enough to compete for a title?
I'm going to say yes. It's going to be hard to beat them boys in a 7-game series, right? Now, they always talk about defense, but it's really about the offense. And the last time I checked, they ranked top 5 in offense. The last time I checked, it's about 3-ball shooting, right? Used to be all in the paint. Now we shooting 3 balls, correct? Everything's a 3-ball. And they are third in the NBA in that. And if you have 2 scorers that when the game gets tight, you need scoring, you need answers, right? You have them. You got Luka and you got Kyrie, and they are playing. So for me, it's going to be hard. I mean, besides, I think Kyrie's great, but it ain't just me. Can we talk to some of his peers? Can we show it? Can we show what Dave Lillard said? Kyrie, the most skilled mother ever, bruh. Ever. And then when a young man says bruh, at the end, he means it. That's like a period. Bruh. So I'm saying like this. Kyrie Irving is that special.
Man.
When the clutch time comes, he gonna give you buckets. And if he gets tired, and if he got the best defender on him, we going to Luka.
Yeah.
You can't have two elite defensive players on the team. That rarely ever happens. You got one main stopper, and you got guys that play defense. So I'm going with the Mavericks as far as a lower-seeded team, right, that has a chance to go to the Western Conference Finals to give the Nuggets maybe a shot. I'm going with them.
Wow.
I mean, I agree with Dame Dollar, with Kyrie Irving being
Holla.
the most skilled, one of the most skilled players ever, because the dude is absolutely special. But 39 and 29 in the playoff, in the play-in tournament shows me that you're an inconsistent basketball team. When you're an inconsistent basketball team, you cannot go into the playoffs and beat good basketball teams. If you're asking me for one game, Kyrie and Luka, I'll take them. If you're asking me over a series to win 4 games and beat good basketball teams, I'm not ready to say that the Dallas Mavericks are a team that's ready to beat those good basketball teams. You're in the play-in game, right? You still have to win a game to get into this tournament. So they're just an inconsistent basketball team, and they've been like that all season. And I understand that they've caught a little fire, played a little bit more consistent, you know. But with that being said, I cannot see them beating the Nuggets in a 7-game series. I can't see them beating the Timberwolves in a 7-game series. They're just inconsistent. If it's one game on the line and I got 2 premier scorers and offensive players, sure, I'll take the Dallas Mavericks. But in a series, I cannot do it. I'm not ready to say
real
that
quick, because you said something about inconsistent teams, right? And we've seen inconsistent teams go to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Last year, the Lakers, super inconsistent. That's all we talk about.
Yeah.
Like roller coaster. Where they end up at, playing into the Western Conference Finals. And then I'll give you an even better one. My Warriors in 2022 championship, right? We played the Mavs. I'm a Warriors fan. Warriors fan, Sixers fan.
What day is it?
Hold up.
Because it changes every day.
No, he been right.
Yo, we played the Warriors. I'm sorry, I want to say
Suns and with the...
No, you good.
The Warriors played the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals, right? I didn't have the Mavericks going that far, did you? I know you didn't.
Yep, look.
And what did they do?
Right.
They jumped, everybody jumped to the back of Luka, right? And he carried them. They beat the Suns like it was nothing. So I'll say this, if you're talking about being inconsistent and the team getting better as the year goes on, later in the year, it's got to be the Mavericks.
Just because
Just don't,
it happened.
I know you're better, just don't bet on it.
Yeah, exactly. Just because it happened doesn't mean that you would bet on it. And as a gambling man yourself, I know that you take the approach of what is most likely to happen. And while having 2 closers is a benefit, you do have to have defense.
Yes, you do.
You do have to get stops. In order to win 4 times in a series, and any series, there are times where you've got to say, we got to get a stop. And that's where the Mavs come up short.
That's the issue?
That's where they are challenged at this point.
Well, they are 7th in defensive rating in the last 6 games.
In the
That
last
was-
6...
That was my last point.
This is where we're going.
I haven't been here
This
for
is
a
where
couple
we're
days.
trending.
I never
I'm
knew
saying
you
that's the
cherry-pick
trend.
like this. Like,
I don't think that's cherry
let me
picking.
just
I
keep
think
that
they've made a
prism.
significant jump. First 62 games, they were 23rd in defensive ranking.
Okay.
You're correct.
Yes.
So they're getting better. They're improving towards the end of the season. Again, I'm not saying that they are now title favorites and like the Nuggets should be terrified because of how this one game went.
Yeah.
Although I do think they will respect how this game went. I think that when you're talking about a 7-game series and going into the postseason, if they end up going through the play-in tournament and getting there, that they are a team that's very serious because of what they have and the way that they're trending right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is a very long season. What they were at the beginning of the season, what they are now, are two different teams.
That's fair.
Who plays who in the play-in? Does 7 play 10?
No, 7th plays 8th, 9th plays 10th.
Okay, so
And then
Mavericks, Suns right now, y'all taking Mavericks to beat them in that one game?
I think we're coming back to that.
Well, we'll come back to that.
We are going to have that conversation.
But I will say this, though. Even if you watched the game last night, all right, they out-rebound the Nuggets 20-37. That's crazy. And then we all talk about the three-point ability of the Mavericks. Yo, they killed them in the paint. 62 points to 38 points. So when you ask me about the Mavericks, they got everything they need to win. I guess you can't say it because they have been not as consistent like you would like.
Right.
But, man, we don't care about none of that. All we care about is a 7-game series. How many times can you beat this team? How many times can that team beat you? And you look at the matchups. Always look at matchups in any sport. That's what matters. It's going to be hard to match up with them boys.
Yeah, the play-in tournament in the West is going to be
Nuts.
interesting.
Crazy.
We do want to ask, though, because they played an MVP.
Yeah.
And that MVP thinks that Luka deserves to be the MVP.
Uh-oh.
The game.